Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with the Atak Sportz for this Monday, September the 8th, 2014. Having an Atak Sportz in a while, but it's a good time to start making Atak Sportz again because it's back. Football! Yes, football. Week 1 happened. Well, today is Monday Night Football. First Monday Night Football of the regular season. Double tonight. We got the Giants and Lions tonight. Detroit Lions taking on each other. Then, of course, Chargers and Cardinals. Double games. So, I'll give you the thoughts on the games that already happened in Week 1 besides the Lions game. First things first, the Thursday night kickoff. Super Bowl champs. Seattle Seahawks in their only primetime home game proved why they're not going to have any more primetime home games. Because the 12th man did its job and destroyed, along with the Seattle defense, once again picking up when they left off at Super Bowl 48, beating the crap out of the Packers. Let me say this. Packers played decent. Packers did get the first touchdown, though. So they did try their best. But in the end, the combination of the Beast and Percy Harvin dominated Green Bay's defense. And Sherman, the guy who talks like, didn't do a lot. But I don't think he needed to do a lot because the offense was doing their job. The defense was doing theirs. And Packers just got destroyed. Rodgers didn't, like I said, at least Packers played okay. They didn't score. They scored no touchdowns during that infamous Fair Mary game. But they came back strong, at least. But in the end, Packers would lose to the Seahawks. That was Thursday night. Sunday night games. I saw one game. The cool thing now, I got a tablet now. And I actually got to watch the Bears game for Westfield Orchard, my gig, from the Fox Sports Go app. There's a little technical flaw during the first quarter. But I did get to see the Bears game against the Buffalo Bills with the former Lions head coach Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator for the Bills. That was a heartbreaker. Oh my God. The Bears looked great in that first quarter. You know, Cousins was throwing some bombs in the first quarter. He tried throwing for bombs again, but got intercepted twice. The second quarter, they broke down big time. The third quarter, the Bears, I think they were losing. Like they were like 10-7 by the half. And then the Bears just came roaring back in the third. They had a hell of a third quarter. Hell of a third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, the Bills tied. Another interception. The second interception was doing that. A fumble, and it was overtime. And the Bears lost in overtime. 23-20 with the Bears scoring a field goal. Kind of a heartbreaker. Bears looked decent in the first game. You know, Cousins did okay, but it was those interceptions and those turnovers that hurt the Bears. And they couldn't get the job done. Despite a hell of a third quarter, they couldn't get the Bills taken care of. The Bills won by 3 points. That's kind of like what happened with the Falcons and Saints. I didn't see that game. I heard that went to overtime as well, and it was the same thing. Fucking field goal for the Falcons. What was it? 37-34. I did see a bit of the Frisco Cowboys game. Man, Cowboys looking rough, man. Frisco just roared through the Cowboys in their stadium. And Frisco takes on the Bears next week in San Francisco's new stadium, Levi Stadium, on Sunday Night Football. And the Bears need a comeback after their rough start against the Bills. And Frisco looked great against the Cowboys. It looked really good. Speaking of looking good, the team that lost to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl proved that Super Bowl loss was a fluke. The Broncos, Colts, Sunday Night Football in Denver this time. Colts beat Denver in Indy last year. This time, Broncos had a last laugh. Yes, Indy did make the comeback again like they did a couple months ago in the playoffs. But this time, 3 letters for Mr. Andrew Luck and the Colts offense and defense. Peyton freaking Manning! PFM! Baby, he dominated the game against the Seahawks. I mean, not the Seahawks, but the Colts. He just threw some big, speaking of throwing bombs. Peyton was throwing bombs, but he had I think he had no interceptions, no turnovers, no safeties. Seahawks did get a safety on Green Bay during their games. So it's kind of a little deja vu seeing another safety for Seattle. So great game from the Broncos. Looking really good. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, but Broncos and Seahawks look really good in their first games. So did all the teams that were in the AFC and NFC championships looked good besides the Pats losing to the fucking Dolphins. That was devastating to hear that. Steelers won their game. Ravens lost their game. And they not only lost that, they lost Ray Lewis. Not Ray Lewis. Ray Rice. Big incident involving Ray Rice today. Apparently, he's been in battle. He got cut from the Ravens after a now infamous video appeared on TMZ of him beating up his now wife. You gotta get rid of him. I hope no team signs that idiot. Beating up a woman. And it was caught on video. That's what more embarrassing for Ray Rice. So, sucks to be him right now. Getting kicked off the Ravens because of his abuse of women. So there you go. He's got a lot of apologizing to do. But I wonder if he'll be publicly accepted, unlike CeeLo. He got in trouble because of weight comments. So, see how Ray Rice can recover from this incident. I don't think he will recover from getting cut from the Ravens after getting caught beating up a vicious assault on a woman in an elevator. So, that I didn't see it yet, but it's spreading all over. It's like a viral. It's a viral sensation. Sorry, Ray. Anyway, with some cage fighting news. Friday night was an interesting night to be a cage fighting fan. For the first time ever, Bellator and UFC were on at almost the same time. With Bellator on at 8 on Friday on Spike, UFC on Fox Sports 1 at 10. And they were both in the same state. And looking down the card, I think Bellator had a slight edge over the UFC card. I think Bellator had a better card. And a much better main event. I'll say that much. A much better main event than the Souza Musasi fight. We had a great main event in Bellator. Check Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull took on Pat Curran in a great featherweight title match. Really exciting. Very back and forth fight. And Patricio Pitbull, this is the rematch. And Patricio looked tough, especially in that 5th round. The 4th round was nothing. Martin Patricio kept pounding on Pat Curran, who wouldn't stay down. Like every time Patricio got Pat Curran down, Pat Curran instantly got back up. But in the end, especially in the last Fury, in the last minute Fury in the 5th round, in my mind, that won Patricio to fight for sure. Taking down Pat Curran in the last minute and a half of that 5th round, getting him the victory, and being the new featherweight champion. Other fights on the card including King Mo beat a little cocky motherfucker, taking on Dustin Jacoby, winning in a TKO in the 2nd round. And he was being a little cocky. Like, I remember Jacoby punched him, and King Mo was like toying, joshing with them. Throwing, whatever analogy you want to use. Like, Jacoby punched him, and King Mo was like, "Ugh." And then after he won, he got on the ground swimming. So, and then people booed his ass. So he's a cocky little motherfucker. But he backs it up most of the time. Then we had a great knockout in the first round of the middleweight fight between Tamden McCrory. Looked really good against Brendan Ward. 40 seconds into the first round. Vicious knockout. We also saw the Bellator debut of the TNA World Champion Bobby Lashley. He looked really good going for the submission game. Going for the ground and pound and getting the submission victory in the 2nd round. A rear naked choke on Josh Burns. And also submission in the 2nd round as well. The first fight, Chad Congo defeating LeVon Johnson in the 1st round. Kind of a questionable finish. Kind of a disappointing first fight. I thought Chad Congo and LeVon Johnson would knock on each other. But that first fight was the only bad part of the card. That was disappointing. Because I thought that fight would be more better than it was. UFC-wise, it was an okay night. The main event was okay. 3rd round, like the fight was kind of boring a little bit. As soon as I got the submission, it got going a little bit. It was okay. And in comparisons to Bellator's main event, Bellator won the main event battle. Co-main, 1st round knockout, Ben Wildfeld just destroyed Alistair Overeem with a little undercut, knocked Overeem out. I mean, Overeem wasn't too focused on the fight. So, maybe that's why Wildfeld beat the shit out of him, which he did in the 1st round. Then Matt Metatron took on Derek Lewis. That was another 1st round knockout. Big knockout for Matt Metatron. Then Joe Lozon taking on Michael Chiesa. ended in the second round after Michael Chiesa got a nasty ass cut above his eye. His eye was like, it was flapping. It was like the cut that Michael Chiesa got was fucking flapping. So it was a great stoppage. It was a great win for Lozon, but they need a rematch though. The match was really good. You know, the first 2 rounds were vicious. Really back and forth, very fast action. Sad at the end on a doctor stoppage because of Jesus' eye. And it was a white stoppage, but it was sad to see the match end like that. I hope they get another fight because that fight was really good. Until Chiesa got that nasty ass flapping cut. If you saw that cut, I was like, damn, that was vicious. Really sick cut. I was like, ooh, it cringe. It was cringeworthy. That's all I gotta say. Now we're on the topic. WWE Raw review, a preview. Before I get to that, I want to comment a little bit about TNA lately. Since I haven't made any TNA reviews, I am pissed they moved to Wednesdays because I'm busy Wednesdays. But from the impacts I've seen, TNA stepping up their game. WWE's getting a little bit boring lately. I didn't make a Raw review last week because my computer was down. So I am making a Raw review tonight though. But TNA's been kicking ass lately. Especially Team 3D, Hardys, and the Wolves, and their tag team series has been amazing. The first match was awesome. Came into the match 2, the tables match. It's been awesome. Reunite the tag team division. I've said this for months about TNA. Reunite the tag team division. Reunite old teams. Well, they did. And 2 great teams they reunited. Team 3D and the Hardys. And we even have a great knockouts match between Terrence Terrell and Gail Kim this past Thursday. The TNA's, I've been saying about the TNA in New York. The teams in New York have been amazing. See what happens when they go to Philly. But TNA's been kicking butt lately. WWE's coming boring as we get towards Night of Champions next week. And WWE, last week's Raw was atrocious. One of the worst Raws I've seen. It was okay Raw, but it was kind of boring. It made every man think to themselves, can't wait till Monday Night Football next week. Well, next week is here. And we'll see how WWE can counter. Well, maybe not. Top 4 questions that must be answered for tonight's Raw. Question number 4. Will go down a so-called Bella segment? Now, we've seen this Bella feud go on. And now Nikki Bella's sister, not Nikki Bella's sister, but Nikki Bella herself, she's going to get a title shot against Paige. I'm here to get the triple flag. And now champions for Paige and AJ after that segment last week we saw. But they need to take care of the Bree situation first. Monday Raw's attempt to try to get ratings for this week's Raw, knowing it was up against NMF, was to try to get Michael Sam on the show. Michael Sam was cut from the Rams practice squad because he's the first openly gay football player in the NFL. But he got signed to the practice squad of the Cowboys. So he is on a football team, so the invitation is null and void. So since they couldn't get Michael Sam on, who could they get to try to get ratings up and try to thwart Monday Night Football? The best effort? Jerry Springer for the so-called Bella intervention. God, it's probably the most predictable segments in the war. You know it's going to be a fight. Because one, the Bella twins hate each other, especially when Bree finally found the courage to beat up her sister last week. Finally beat her up. And we got Jerry Springer hosting this, so you know it's going to be some sort of fight. A la Jerry Springer style, fighting. So it'll be kind of a stupid segment. As if this Bella feud wasn't any stupid as it is. Getting more stupid, Jerry Springer would be getting involved. Question number 3, where we'll go down in not 1, but 2 SummerSlam rematches. Yep, the other attempt that WWE trying to get, the other thing that WWE is trying to get ratings for, 2 SummerSlam rematches. Randy Orton against Roman Reigns. They need to add a stipulation in that match. Like they're doing the Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt. Another SummerSlam rematch. It's kind of like the Woman match. Bray won at SummerSlam, deservingly. Chris Jericho won at Battleground, which I thought questionable. But they're both 1-1. So, the Woman match. Steel cage match tonight on Raw. See how that goes. And see how Randy Orton Reigns' match goes on and see if it's the same result for both matches. You know, they're trying to get ratings, but if this is their attempt to try to thwart Monday Night Football, they're not going to win tonight. They're not going to win. And then that Batman spinoff, Gotham's coming up. So, more competition for Raw. They need to really step up the fucking game. They need to step it up big time. Question number 2. Will any new matches be made for Night of Champions? I think every title match for Night of Champions is revealed. Obviously, Cena Lesnar. I'll get to that in a moment. The Triple Threat Divas title match is now on. Nikki Bella taking on Paige and AJ following that segment last week. We also got Sheamus and Cesaro for the U.S. Championship. Hoping this time Cesaro wins. Miz against Ziggler for the IC Championship. Tag team titles. Usos against the Dust Brothers. Gold and Stardust. And the only non-title match we got thus far is Mark Henry and Rusev. We've been seeing that feud kind of building, with Mark Henry giving a World Strongest Slam to Rusev. Then Rusev getting revenge 2 weeks ago. Actually, last week, doing a Henry, Big Show, Harper Warren match. They need to stop having a match, man. That no more Harper Warren, Big Show, Mark Henry matches. It's getting fucking annoying to see these matches. You know, I applauded a few weeks ago, but stop having it every fucking week. It's like watching Holtzclaw and Chavo Guerrero. People get sick of it quickly. And we hope that God we don't see another Big Show, Harper Warren, Mark Henry match tonight. We hope we don't see one. Question number 1. Will Cena still get his match against Lesnar? I think he will. He's got to prove it, though. Last week on the Jericho highlight reel, Triple H said that Cena may not get his rematch after all. And Cena's like, I'm going to sue your ass. He could have proved this point during the 6-man tag team match that was the main event of last week's Raw, with him teaming up against Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns against Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins. Now, Cena didn't get tagged in until like midway towards the end of the match. And he had the last laugh after the match as well. Even if Roman Reigns won the match for the team. With John Cena F-viewing everybody after the match. We'll see what happens tonight on Raw tonight at 8/7 Central on USA Network. That is it for my WWE Raw preview. And also, that's it for my Atak Sportz for today. Thank you very much for watching. Get ready for my Raw review tonight. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the news from Zach. Sports news from Zach. See you, everybody. Yeah.